Kohima Japfü Hotel Day, 26 June Day, breaking the chain, prevention, treatment, recovery for all lakh team Pito Day, International Day Truck against drug abuse and illicit trafficking manaishe. Even though Social Welfare Department, NSACS aro Kripa Foundation pra ayojan kurishe. Commissioner Mohammed Ali Shihab pra drugs aro addict hua youth khange phal pra guidance natile restless hoi jai aro pressure bishi by koigina emphasize kurishe. Dr. Villo Naleo Rapi itulaga family kinika duk paigina aishi itu opor share kurishe aro police officers kun khan trafficking de shamil isi tai khan ke warn kurishe. DGP Rupin Sharma bra Nagaland de sal de kom se kom 500,000 soap cases to consume kure koigina reveal kurishe.
I'll just take you through some calculations. I think all of you will be having mobile phones with calculators. If you can go along with me and calculate with your own mobiles, you will be wiser than just listening to it. Nagaland has almost 1.2 lakh drug users, out of which a majority of them are heroin and sunflower. So we'll not go by a figure of 1.2 lakh. Let us go by a figure of only about 40,000 users. Okay, so I'm making the figures 1/3 of what actually the problem is. 40,000 drug users, and imagine if each one of them takes half a gram of heroin or sunflower every day. It makes 20,000 grams per day, which is 20 kgs per day. Multiply it by 365 days and you get to almost like 7,000 kgs per annum. Then this is one calculation that a minimum of 7,600 kgs, 7,000 kgs per annum for a figure of 1/3 of actually the number. Okay, so it should work out to be almost 20,000 kgs per annum is the consumption in Nagaland if you go by 1.2 lakhs. Then look at the other side of the calculation, the other part of the calculation. So 20 kgs per day multiplied by 365 is say 7,000 kgs per annum. Multiply it by 1,000, which is grams. Okay, it is 7 lakh grams. And then divide 7 lakh grams by 12.5 grams. 12.5 grams is the quantity which comes in a soap case. Okay, so 7 lakh divided by 1.25 by 12.5. I think the figure comes to almost 5 lakh soap cases per annum in Nagaland. This is the consumption in Nagaland. And can you guess how much we catch in a year? Well, I will pat my back later, but it is a reality check for what is happening. 5 lakh kgs is being consumed. 5 lakh soap cases of drugs are apparently being consumed in Nagaland every year. And what we end up catching, all agencies put together. Let me also include my underground friends, since they say they also try to fight this problem. Okay. Nagaland Police, Excise Department, Central Agencies, DRI, CBI, maybe NIA, underground. The total number of catches, the total number of soap cases we catch in a year is never going to exceed, has never exceeded about say 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, maybe 10,000 soap cases per annum. So I said, it is not enough. If you look at it, we are actually losing a battle. Okay. These are stark reality checks that we have. We are already losing a battle. I don't think if there is anyone who is sincere enough in this room who does a bit of introspection, I don't think there is anyone around in this room who does not know someone who is a drug user or an abuser or a drug dependent. It is just an arm's length away from you. The problem is an arm's length away from you. A very senior reputed IPS officer who comes on various debates on national TV retired officer. You would have seen him on various television channels. Mr. Yashuvardhan Azad, it's a retired officer. So I had called on him about 6-7 months back. He said, "Boss, itna halat kharab hai. I am not confident that my children, when they are going in the morning and coming back in the evening, they would not get addicted. It's so bad, you know. It is so pervasive, and this is, I'm saying, this is in Delhi. In Nagaland, it's like it's just available. You just have to ask 3 people, 4 people in the right places. You will get the drugs. And I'm just right now concentrating on the sunflower or the showcases part of it. I'm not even talking about things like cough syrups, maybe meth tablets, or spasmoproxyvan, or Valipen and other things. I'm not even saying this. Alprazolam tablets. Luckily, the alprazolam tablets are less not available. I needed a sleeping pill about a year back because I had not been able to sleep. I went around from one pharmacy to the other. They didn't get it. So thankfully, like, certain systems are good. You know, I mean, not always lost, but yes, things are available. So it's pretty bad. Despite all the efforts that we have been doing collectively, I think we have not been doing enough. For those of you who may not be aware, there is a layered mechanism for dealing with drugs. So there is an apex body which is headed at the level by the Union Home Minister. Then there is another one headed by the Union Home Secretary. Then the third one is at the level of, in each state there is a body which is headed by the Chief Secretary and then by the DCs. Okay. Yes, very well conceived, very well structured, but the point is, how much time does a DC devote to drug trafficking? Well, I'm not saying it's not definitely DC. I'm saying how much time do we devote to a problem? How much time do we devote to this issue? It's definitely not DC nahi karta hai, Chief Secretary nahi karta hai. That's not the issue. The issue is, what is a dedicated structure that we have which devotes time only for this purpose? Sadly, there is none. Let me admit, I am a part of the system. I am saying, sadly, there is none.
I was a teenager. My cousins were involved in drug abuse, and they were in Kohima. They went up to Mao Gate to procure drugs, and the police started chasing them, and they ran into our village, looking for shelter. But accidentally, they ran into our fields, which we know very well. So we aided the police department, catching our own people, catching my own cousins. Those were some of my experiences. Now in the world, some countries like Singapore, Kuwait, Iran, China, Saudi Arabia uses capital punishment for drug offenses. The Harm Reduction International, HRI, is doing a noble job to reduce capital punishment against drug abusers. Though drug abuse is an illicit trafficking of drug is wrong, people are still involved. Why? Because there's a lot of money involved in this. The different measures taken to stop drug abuse and trafficking are implemented even in India, as we all know. But drug abuse and trafficking still exist. We are perplexed at times, even when the government is doing its best to curb this issue. There are people dying from drug abuse. There are people being caught by law keepers, and sometimes the law keeper themselves are being involved in this issue. I do not mean to demean the man in uniform, but there are isolated cases in Nagaland. The government of India also has taken various measures to curb drug trafficking, starting from the Ministry of Home Affairs, setting up different law agencies and enforcement agencies, ranging from national, state, district, various levels. Anti-narcotics task force, Narcotics Control Board or Bureau, many more empowering boards, and even security forces, border security forces and central forces. So here in Nagaland, there is an upsurge of drug use or abuse among teenagers and school-going students. Some observers have shared that this is more devastating than alcohol abuse. And I think they are right. So in this juncture, the community must step in to help the law enforcing agencies. And I know they are doing very well, but I hope they are not just doing for the sake of earning a prize, a trophy. They are doing for the betterment of the society. We all have roles to play in stopping something which is causing unproductivity and producing spineless vagabonds in our society. Not all drug abusers are criminals, but drug abuse can be a leading cause in poverty, theft in neighborhood, increase of criminal activities, road accidents, scams, etc. You can add on. So besides many other organizations, the church has more important role to play in this area. But I should admit that many churches are not prepared to tackle this issue. Many clergies, pastors are not trained. And when you are not trained, when you don't know how to tackle, you will attack, avoid, or blame. That's the only thing. There are several churches doing very well in their rehabilitation works. There are individuals and pastors who are genuinely concerned, but the majority is feeling indifferent about this issue. Very sad. But in the face of these realities, I would like to suggest 4 points very quickly. 1, stop stigmatization. Because of stigma, parents are unable to get help. Drug users are unable to share the problems, and it does lead to social isolation. Stigma can result in discrimination, affecting individuals' access to opportunities in the society. Stigma also can lead to delayed treatment and economic cost, causing immense pressure upon the individual, resulting to guilt, shame, and even suicidal thoughts. And that's why we need supportive policies. We need supportive languages that can reduce stigma. Many times, our attitude matters than the problem itself. Second point is apply restorative justice approach. I would like to cite an example here in the police department led by Sir Rupin Sharma. I'm not saying this because he is here. I'm not saying this to please him. In addressing alcoholism in the police department, first, he gave 3 months for those who may need professional care. And it was only after that that DGP gave warning or sukha discharge, which is the most dreaded punishment for any kind of corpse, especially here among the NAPs. Even if he is drunk, he is scared of sukha discharge. And so, this is fair enough. They have been given opportunities to heal, to take care of their life, to take care of their ill habits. But even if they don't do that, even if they are not availing that, then the punishment is theirs. And this is a restorative approach. And so when I say restorative approach, we also regard drug trafficking or drug abuse. When it comes to this drug abuse and drug trafficking, there are many people who are imprisoned due to their involvement. I also do jail ministry, and several of them are imprisoned due to this case, drug-related cases. Even women, drug-related cases. And I know there are people who might be innocent. And so, it is important for us to exercise restorative justice Not just criminal justice alone. Restorative justice is a different way of thinking about crime and the harm and our response to it. So, very quickly, it talks about three things. It focuses on the harm. Restorative justice prioritizes understanding and addressing the harm caused by a crime or conflict. Involvement of victims and offenders, both the parties. Both parties are actively involved in process, allowing for more personal and meaningful interactions and reparation and restitution. Offenders take responsibility for their actions and work to repair the harm they have caused. So applying this restorative justice, there is a possibility to bring healing and accountability, reconciliation, community in the community itself. It is not the solution to every crime. It may not transform all the offenders, but it is a better response to crime. It is a better response than our traditional system has been using. It is a better response to criminal justice. The third thing that I want to say is build community support system. Every member of the society, community, may participate in this process, providing support and guidance. Most of the times, when we talk about drug abuse, the family members are left alone to deal with their wards, and this is very, very demanding from their family members. I also have experience from my own cousins. I almost landed up in jail because of my own cousin, and I have taken them to several rehab centers because of drug abuse. And the society, the other people, the church is nowhere to help us. And so the families struggle in this. And that's why we need to build community support system. The final point that I want to share is build a strong family ethics. Allow me to quote the Bible now. The Bible begins with the family of Adam and Eve. It ended in the flood with Noah, during the time of Noah. But God again raised Noah's family. And so, during the time of Noah's family, God did not destroy the whole earth. And so, we have Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the lineage of faith. Coming to the New Testament, we see Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, a family. They were all responsible in bringing restoration, healing to humanity. Look at the book of Revelation, which is the last book of the Bible. It talks about the believer's family. God as the Father also judgment on the basis of what God has revealed to human beings. Revealed to human beings through the form of history, revelation, nature, and our conscience. God will be our judge. And so that's why we must build a family. Our family must become the center of healing, forgiveness, truth-telling, and living a life worthy of praise.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.